Sri Lanka remains on the edge after the president fled the country. Angry protesters stormed the Prime Minister's office calling for his resignation. The defence chief has called for calm, urging the public to cooperate to maintain law and order. Our correspondent Dasuni Athauda has been reporting from ground zero through the day. She now tells you how the day unfolded in the island nation. Take a look.
In Sri Lanka, it was another day of chaos. It started at late night when President Rajapaksa fled the country. The 73-year-old, his wife and two bodyguards took a military aircraft. His destination was the neighboring nation of Maldives. Reports suggest Gotabaya was taken to a resort after landing in Malé. Why Maldives? Rajapaksa is said to be close to former President and Speaker Mohamed Nasheed. In fact, when Nasheed was ousted out of power in 2012, he sought refuge in Sri Lanka. So Malé may be returning the favor right now.
Now the protesters are just refusing to leave, while a faction of the protesters are requesting these citizens to go to Gotago village, which is the main protest site here in Colombo.
So with Gotabaya gone, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe is now the acting president. A move that angered the protesters even more. They descended on the streets of Sri Lanka once again.
The Prime Minister has no right to become the president because he lost his election. He entered parliament from the national list. Therefore, we believe he has no right to do this. He must honor the people's wishes and resign immediately.
A state of emergency was announced in the island nation. But even that did not deter the protesters. They defied tear gas and water cannons to storm the Prime Minister's office.
Steady inflow of tear gas that is being fired. The protesters are continuing to move away from the office of the Prime Minister, which is now the epicenter of tensions here in Sri Lanka.
Once they were inside, there were scenes of jubilation. Protesters were cheering. They were happy. Some even held a Sri Lanka flag aloft from one of the balconies of the building.
The Prime Minister's office was completely infiltrated by the protesters who arrived at the official place and the office of the Prime Minister.
Wickremesinghe has since ordered the army to do whatever is necessary to restore order. He called on the protesters to leave, but they remain adamant. They want the president and Prime Minister to resign before they leave.
In 2 consecutive days, the president of this country confirmed that he is going to resign, but up until now we have no confirmation of his resignation. The speaker has mentioned on a few occasions that he is going to resign. We still don't have any official confirmation.
Sri Lanka's speaker says Gotabaya will make arrangements to send his resignation letter by today. As president, Rajapaksa enjoys immunity from arrest. So clearly, he wanted to go abroad before stepping down. This is to avoid any possibility of being detained or arrested. Media reports from Maldives suggest that he is heading for Singapore next.
President Gotabaya Rajapaksa was seen fleeing the country from Sri Lanka to the Maldives. After that, this afternoon, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe was confirmed to be the acting president of Sri Lanka. That resulted in protesters storming and infiltrating the Prime Minister's office here in Colombo. Party leaders have decided to request for Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe to resign as well in tandem with the resignation of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, which we are yet to receive here in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's political crisis is worsening just as much as its economic crisis, and we will be bringing you the updates as and when it happens here in Sri Lanka. Reporting from near the Presidential Secretariat, I'm Dasuni Athauda.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.